Hi there, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for February. This month has some very sharp contrasts, and it's going to take some skill in order to negotiate it. But it also offers some wonderful opportunities, not least if you want to boost your financial situation. The story of the month begins with the Sun in your sector of everyday communications. And it is going to be mightily important to remain clear-minded for the whole of February, because Mercury, the planet of communication, is moving at the start of this month into your sector of emotions, combining with the dreamy but confusing influence of Neptune almost straight away. And also from the 6th starts the first of its 3 annual rewinds or retrogrades. All this suggests that some emotional issues may not be as clear as you first think, or you could get caught in some very powerful compulsions that you don't quite understand. Now, if this does happen, it could potentially be disastrous in terms you may get the goal or the prize you want, but it could be at the cost of a key relationship or your own personal standing or credibility. So your moral structure needs to be firm this month, otherwise you could stray off the straight and narrow, take shortcuts, and ultimately in the end alienate someone or lose something that's much bigger than money will ever be. And all of this is because Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in the part of your horoscope to do with wealth generation. And Jupiter is the planet of growth, it's the planet of good fortune. And if you handle it right, by the time you get to halfway through this year, you will be better off. But you don't want to be better off and have no friends. And this month, it is locked in a power struggle with Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Used correctly, it can see us grow and evolve enormously. However, used wrongly, it can see us try to have some kind of power over other people. And that's the juggling act you can find yourself with in this month, not least because Venus is also side by side with Pluto in the first 2 weeks, which means your desire for cash, sex, very calorific goodies, alcohol, anything that really sees you quite driven. So if you've got any kind of sort of weak point, it's going to be turned up to max this month, and that's where you need to show that self-discipline. Because if you do, you can actually have a lovely time. You can enjoy intimacy. You can make more money, but not at the cost of other things that fall out from all of this. So be particularly careful. But there is a key period from the 11th to the 18th when if you really want to go for it, you can make some fantastic progress, because the Sun's going to be combining with Mars, and if you're a visionary and you have a clear idea of where your life is heading, you can just go at a tremendous rate of knots. Something can really take off. On the other hand, if you're not so clear, this can help you to communicate well with other people and get new ideas in, and lots of people may be willing to aid you. From the middle of the month, Mercury rewinds back into Aquarius, and I actually think this can be good for you. So even though it's still twisting backwards, at least it's in an area which is more in simpatico with your sign. But anything to do with technology or modes of transport could have a tendency to go wrong or be unreliable in the second half of this month. So just be conscious of that. There is a full moon which occurs also in the middle of the month, and this points towards choosing your words very carefully, especially around a contractual issue. Again, don't be tempted to get impatient. Slow it all down, analyse it carefully, and if you do, you'll protect yourself. When the Sun moves on the 19th, it moves into the part of your scope that Mercury has just vacated, and it too is going to join up with Neptune. So once more, it's asking you to extend your psychic antenna and be much more perceptive to the vibes you're picking up around you. Don't just live in your head, live in your heart and your emotions too. Now, Mercury and Saturn are going to clash in week 3, and something could come out about you. Could be a bit of gossip, or you may let something slip which is best left unsaid, and it could be a little bit demoralizing. But by the end of the month, I think you're given an enormous opportunity to get much more aware of where you live, who you live with, family matters, and the basic foundation stones of your life, and also hugely importantly, Mercury starts to go forwards and we can all let out a collective sigh of relief. So a fascinating month that's charged, full of potential, but full of a few risks if you go too quick and go too far without thought of the consequences. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.